So, unfortunately, I'm a user of Twitter. Shocking, I know, considering how often I talk about how much I hate that stupid website, but what can I say? Abusive relationships just tend to feel right sometimes. But on Twitter, there's a subculture of accounts called gimmick accounts. And the basic premise is that a person creates an account centered around one thing, whether that's posting fights or posting patch notes for the Earth. And no, I'm not lying, that is an account, and it's called Earth Updates. Earth Update, Donald Trump. If that triggers you, please consider unfollowing. Trying to cleanse my account of low quality, low IQ followers. Thanks. Yeah, not that account's best moment, but hey, at least snakes are fashionable, right? Well, Earth Updates isn't the only gimmick account, and for some reason, most of them have elected to either become insanely political, insanely porn-driven, or have just kind of been trucking along doing their thing for years. And my best example to kick off with is going to be Santa Decides.
Oh, ho, 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 ho.
So Santa Decides is a gimmick account that kicked off however many years ago by grabbing a random person or celebrity, usually quoting a tweet of that person doing something, and then letting the people know if that person is naughty or nice. And on a side note, as I wrote this fuck-ass script, this piece of shit had so many tweets that it took me nearly 2 minutes to scroll down to find his earliest tweet. Get off the Bird app! Sorry about that. Actually, no, I'm not. A sane person doesn't need to have 57,000 tweets. Anyway, this guy would just make basic tweets like, German Shepherds are on the nice list, and the Washington Post is on the naughty, which admittedly is kind of a weird example of them being a normal gimmick account, but that's normal for them, and they have 8,000 posts, so I'm not coming through all that. And the account pretty much went on as normal for any amount of time, or maybe not, I don't really know, I just saw it in passing doing its thing. But one day, I'm not even lying, the account went full-scale political and redneck, and I'm not sure the exact tweet, but I'm pretty sure Santa Claus giving away a fucking Kabar Tonto knife, arms list swag pack, mechanic gloves, Streamlight microstream, and a 50 caliber ammo can didn't help. But past a certain point, this guy elected to stray away from any joy and whimsy that the real Santa Claus would have, and decided that he loves guns, Trump, Elon Musk, all of it. And I'm not even talking about my views here. I'm not even an adult, so you low-key shouldn't give a fuck. But I do think I have the agency to say fucking Santa Claus shouldn't be tweeting telling people not to pay rent so they can buy a rifle. Or to tell people that he would happily sell himself out just to make a few dollars with gun companies. But with this highly political shift of Santa Decides, a new account emerged titled Santa Decides Correct Version. And this Santa Claus gets it. This person just posts about who's naughty or nice, and sometimes the person is morally ambiguous, like Ben Jammins, which I find funny. There's also just the occasional tweet about Santa and his love of milk and cookies, and also one time he got suspended for telling a Nazi to commit suicide. Do with that what you will. And thankfully, that's really all I need to talk about for Santa Decides. I can't help but wonder what the first Santa Decides will think of his choice to switch over to politics when his views and engagement slowly dies off. Either way, next up, we have gimmick accounts that just post fights and restricted content. We're gonna look at two accounts for this one. Street Fight Hard and Restricted Vids. One of them posts fights, the other just posts weird shit, and I'm sure you can piece together who does what.
Don't be filming me, brother. You got your rapist homo thug black balls over there.
What the hell are you talking about? I am not goddamn pedophile, never happened.
Starting off with Street Fight Hard, their whole gimmick is that they post most likely anything they can find. A cop fighting a random dude and an old lady? Sure. Some guy literally stuffing someone else into a damn washing machine? Why not? But where this account stumbles and kind of loses itself is that, well, put simply, the account doesn't even post fights half the time. The two videos I just used for examples, those were the butt pieces of bread sandwiching like 15 videos that weren't fights. Sure, some of them were just kind of funny, like these guys pretending to be cops, having people get out of their car and just driving away. It's funny, and there's no harm done. But dude, I don't want to see some girl spread her legs while another girl plays pool behind her. Neither of those are fights, one of them is just weird, and worse yet, the account is sponsored, which is something I've yet to get into. A lot of gimmick accounts end up sponsored, typically by Stake or some other gambling company. Or in Santa One's case, a lot of gun companies. But that typically means a nice, intrusive ad will be smack dab in the meme or video somewhere. for your viewing displeasure. Typically, the account gets torn to shreds after and just becomes another gimmick account in the great Twitter sea. A fate befitting for a sellout. And then we've got the accounts like Restricted Vids. And to this account's credit, it sticks pretty hard into one area, being unfathomably horny, which isn't even restricted. But I guess if I had to choose between seeing a girl panic grab a dude's wiener or a man literally get skinned alive in front of his family, I'd pick the girl. But like I said, thankfully this account pretty much stays in its lane, albeit I'll let you decide if this account is a womanizer given its lust for anything with curves. I just really don't think that matters given the assumed target audience of these posts. But then, there is one main account that I would love to talk about.
Ladies and gentlemen, Osmond Gold! Come in here, you son of a...
Now, Community Notes and Violations was a pretty simple account when it started, and funny enough, it got spotlighted in a Quite video. But this little fuck-ass account is now the cornerstone of sad gimmick account fates. Let's look at a post from November 13th, 2023. A user posted a clip with the caption, "To whoever keeps saying that it's only ping and lag compensation, this is on 0 ping. The hit reg is just broken on subtick flicking and it just doesn't work." What that means, I could not tell you. What game it is, I also could not tell you. But the community note seems to have something funny to say. This user is just bad at the game. Wow, now that's funny. I'd laugh right now if I hadn't already seen this image 18 times while preparing this video. And CN Violations didn't even have a caption to the post. Just pure comedy. Awesome! That's a good gimmick post right there. I wonder what they post now. Top 8 epic community notes that woke cultists won't like. Top 8 hilarious community notes that woke cultists won't like. Top 9 brutal comebacks and violations that will definitely trigger some people. I like that one because they don't even use a community note for the thread thumbnail. It's just a movie poster. They also said trigger some people. I guess the woke cultists were busy that day. The weirdest thing about this account is that they think they're some superhero against the... how did they put it? Oh right, yeah, the woke cultists. Or maybe I shouldn't say they. Considering how many stereotypes this person uses, I'll make the assumption that this is a guy. Hey, and if he is not a guy, I'm sure all these weird political views make you want to feel like a guy, right? Almost like you're trapped in a gender that you don't belong to? They should have a month for people like that. Anyway, no, CN Violations is not fighting the woke cultists. Most people who actually followed for the gimmick probably unfollowed at the point where you started calling decent human beings woke snowflakes. Top 8 brutal community notes that will never get old. Wait, that cover image is kind of funny. Community Notes and Violations is a good guy? Nah, I'm just kidding. What a fucking weirdo. But what am I getting at? What's the point of this video? Well, the point is simple. I think there are way too many gimmick accounts. I barely even scratched the surface. There's parodies, memes, news, a whole lot of accounts with one purpose and or gimmick. And sadly, most of them are just straight political or pushing some sort of gambling shill. It just reads like most people can't be trusted to have their own gimmick. Like, man, I'm following you because I want to see funny pictures of captions pretending to be updates to the Earth. I don't want to see you shill Trump endlessly. And if you are going to do that, I can't stop you, but at least take it out of your mouth and clean up before tweeting again. It's just basic table manners. Oh, yeah, and then there's people like Stone Toss. Does anybody actually care or think about Stone Toss?